So now I'm going to demonstrate how we can use one band to train the shoulders in a variety of different movement patterns. I've got the yellow 41-inch band here because it's the least resistance and probably will allow a more full range of movement. But obviously as you want to progress your exercise, we can then step up the difficulty and tension of the band. So probably the most basic and simple way to work this is standing feet shoulder width apart, hands in this position, that shoulder pressing position, and then just pushing up. So working through the shoulder press in that position through there. You can vary grip distance out to wider, just to vary that up in terms of working that. If we wanted to integrate a bit more dynamic movement with the shoulder press movement pattern, we can stand here. You might do a lateral lunge. You can do a forward step lunge and then a back lunge. If we want to work on or focus on just training one side of the body through that movement pattern, we can just get that band up and we can focus on a one shoulder press movement pattern that we can then vary up with our different movement patterns again. So if we want to use one band again, in terms of training lats in a more lateral raised position, we can hold the bands here, feet standing on the band, and then working up into that, into a anterior shoulder raise also. So you can see there's a big scope of practice for all different exercises using the power band. So next I'll show you how we can use two power bands to train the shoulders also. I'm going to quickly demonstrate how we can use that to train the shoulders. Two bands allows for a bit more versatility. I'm standing on both bands here and we can then again perform your conventional shoulder pressing movement pattern if we like in there. Again, varying how far our hands are apart and closer and then out wider, then out wider. If we want to vary that up a little bit more and create a bit more of a multi-plane shoulder pressing movement pattern, holding in this position again, you can push across, working across in that transverse plane, really working that shoulder press movement pattern. If you want to then back around in the shoulder in that transverse plane movement again, working through in those positions there. If we want to work more in that frontal plane, we can across, or across, and more in that sagittal plane, out in front, up above head, out in front. We've already talked about and gone through your anterior delt raise, your lateral delt raise. If we want to work on posterior delts, what I'd probably recommend is having the band, crossing the band across ourselves here, so we've got a nice cross. And again, we might vary our hand positions like with all our band training. At some points you might want to be in a more neutral grip, or perhaps in a more pronated grip, or a more supinated grip. So bands here in this position. This time I'm actually just going to grip onto the band and we can work our posterior delts in that position. We can do more neutral grip, pronated grip. So again, the bands are a great tool that we can use in terms of when we're looking to train the shoulders.